We are excited to be back at the job this morning. We got some materials in finally. We got these giant PSL beams that are going to be the front girders of our porch. And we also got the corrugated metal that's going to be under our suspended slab. So I think we should start with that.
Yeah,
since we don't have a crane to set this today.
Bro, that's going to need more than a crane, dude. Look at the size of that thing.
I couldn't budge that thing if I had to.
Brock did come and weld our I-beams to these plates, and we still are going to put nuts and washers and non-shrink grout under here. That's not done yet, but that won't stop us from getting going with that.
It's not light. Oh, no.
Make sure that clears all of them down through there. Yeah, I think that'll work as good as anything. All right, I'm gonna pop it. Now that we have this chalk line, we have a reference to measure to the rebar here and here that's gonna go through this panel. It's gonna stop maybe here, coming from that side. 10 1/4, 26. You want to try to drill it?
I'm gonna try.
Where's this one?
I'm worried about this one. It's right there.
That's right where the mark is?
Yeah.
If nothing else, we can just cut a square with a grinder.
Oh!
Wow.
On this edge panel, we're also drilling 1/2-inch holes for some 1/2-inch by 4 Tapcon Plus that's going to go down into the concrete.
Okay.
I think it's all ready. Yeah, guys, it's kind of a one-man job. We're starting to install the second panel, and we're realizing now we should have installed the first panel with this side of it on that side of the panel, because now we're gonna have to slide these other panels up and under, which isn't a problem, except we also have to slide them up and over the rebar. I didn't think about that. So we're gonna try it, and if it doesn't work easy enough, we'll just pull this first panel, drill the holes in that side, spin it, whatever. Let's give it a whirl, see what happens.
Jono!
That didn't suck.
So that did work. To slip this under It was not fun or easy. And we got these fastened together with self-tappers, less than 3 foot on spacing. We've made it down the line here to the last panel, and unfortunately, to get a flat spot to hit on top of this wall, we're gonna have to notch around all of these rebar. So we're gonna lay it up here and kind of mark it and do it in place, I think would be more accurate. And we'll bolt this side down. And then later, Brock's gonna come back and puddle weld across the top of all these beams to attach that. So if we did everything right, these little notches are gonna slot around all the rebar, and we got a flat here to bolt down. Brock and Jeremy are here running some big gun machines, and they're scary to watch. They're just moving super fast, and they're huge. Look, they're taking down trees.
What?
Boom!
Holy cow.
Dang! These snapped the whole trunk. Look at that. Yeah, that's what it turns out if you buy a $500,000 excavator, you don't even need a chainsaw anymore. One panel to spare there. And we're gonna start this side, same thing. Start on this end, rolling down to the end.
151 and an 8.
All right, roll down to the next one. Chuck line.
151 and an 8.
Wow, that's cool. Okay. our next step here is to bend all of this rebar that's sticking up out into the future slab, and we'll tie steel all the way across to those ones. So we've got this metal bar. We're trying to figure out a way to just bend it 90 real nice. They don't have to come out perfectly 90 as long as they end up about 2 inches above this metal flat.
Hey, I was thinking, why don't you put a self-tapper down on these high ridges to keep this other panel sucked down to the other one?
It's a great idea. It's exactly what Jono just said like 5 seconds ago, though.
No, he didn't.
He did.
Did you?
Where did you get Arlo's old glasses from?
Yeah. It is the glasses.
Are they? What's wrong with them?
They look like
They're 70s style.
look like you taught shop class in the 70s.
I could have.
I'm not sure if the camera can really do this justice, but we are just getting blinded out here. Look at
Bro, you know those old ladies that used to use those like aluminum things to
Yes.
tan their face?
Yeah.
My
it's
whole face is gonna
worse
be
than
like,
that. It is
oh my
like
gosh.
unbelievably like staring into a 500-watt light bulb or something. None of us have sunglasses on either. We do have safeties on.
Dude, burning
It's
my
all metal.
retinas.
You're gonna be tan from every angle, boys. Call that a skateboard wheel when it gets tiny like that.
Look at that one.
Yeah, there you go. Wow. So Ray's getting a bend on these, and then I'm smacking them with a hammer to get them laid down all the way. It seems to be working pretty well. Tiring. I feel like a baked potato up here.
Yeah.
There we go, we've got our steel decking down, our rebar bent down, ready to tie across, and we're gonna form up 6 inches all the way around this edge, probably first thing Monday morning to keep going with the slab. If you've missed what we're doing here in previous videos, this is a garage. This steel is gonna support a 6-inch thick concrete slab. Then we're gonna go up a floor and build another floor on top of that. So got a long way to go, but I'm glad to get this step done. Thanks for building with us. It's Monday morning, we're back at the job, and we got to do something right now, Jay. Now we move this whole stack of lumber from over here to over there.
No, we don't. No, we don't. Come on.
Are you serious?
Yes, Jeremy needs it moved from over there to over
Tell
here.
him to get over it.
No.
He's got to move dirt over there, so we better just do it.
No. What?
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 Oh! See, what he's going to do is bring the yard and make it like that much wider. See this road? He's pushing
see
dirt
that road.
down the road
I see that.
and making this way wider right here. We got some horses set up here. We're just gonna rack it up and get it done. And as much as we're gonna hear comments about how we should have machinery to do this, we'd have to move about 100 more things to do this with a machine. This will be faster. It'll get you going in the morning. You feel better once you do something. That's what I'm saying. Feeling good yet?
Oh, I feel like a champ, bro. I love this.
We got our delivery here of a bunch of wood for these decks and also these spruce 2x12s. That's gonna form the edges of our slab up here, so we're gonna start trucking this up. I'm having an idea here. You wanna hear it?
I'm all ears.
Okay.
What do you got?
I'm thinking it's gonna be really difficult to hold this 16-foot long 2x12 in the exact right vertical thing using the reader and the laser and all that, and screw it. So what I'm thinking is just install the boards with like an inch extra high,
Okay.
just kind of haphazardly,
Oh, wow.
and then use the laser to chalk a line and then just cut our top level.
I think that's a great idea. It would be difficult to place it super precisely, and we've got to gauge off of our existing surface the height, and maybe we want to do that, take a little bit of time doing that and average it out, you know, after
So you
the
like
boards.
it?
I like it. I guess that's what I'm saying. I love it so much that I think that's what we should do.
Can you say that again?
I love it so much.
Today's video is sponsored by Factor Meals, and they're America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit. It's fresh, never frozen, dietitian approved, chef prepared, and they do taste great. And I've been trying not to eat fast food a lot, okay? And that sounds pretty easy, but I'm a busy guy. And when you don't have much time, what do? You spend less time preparing food and cleaning up, so you end up eating fast food. So I've been trying not to do that, and Factor Meals has been a big part of that for me. Having a healthier option that's ready in 2 minutes in the microwave, tastes great, and I have all kinds of options to choose from on a weekly basis. I've been eating Factor Meals for about a year now. I eat them at the job, I eat them at home, and I mainly get the vegetarian options, although they have great options across the board, all kinds of different protein if you want that. The problem is I eat meat too much for the most part, so Factor Meals having those vegetarian options that still taste great has been a great way for me to cut back on the level of meat intake and still enjoy my meals. So if you're like me and you're looking to stay healthy, eat a little bit better without spending a ton more time thinking about that or doing anything to prep your food, make sure to check out Factor Meals. You can find them in the link of our video description or at factor75.com. And if you use our code Perkins50, you'll get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month's order. That's 50% off your first box, 20% off your next month's order using code Perkins50. We've got our first form board here. In an effort not to lose our minds, we put these cleats on that'll sit on top of that wall and just hang the board so it'll just sit there without us having to hold it while we're drilling into the concrete. Jamie's got the drawings pulled up here. So we're looking, is it 6 inches thick from here or from there? It's like 2 elevations on our pan here.
That is a great question. I know it's in here because I read it once already, that particular part of it. All cast concrete, normal, blah, 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 4,000. Slab beams, total thickness of 6 inch, including the metal deck.
Okay, so I think that would mean 6 inches from there.
I do think that is what it means. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to call for some clarification. I think that's it though.
Dude, put that thing away. Put it away.
What away?
That's what I'm saying. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna have to.
Bro! That's right. No.
Now we are gonna have to do something. It is leaning out. We can't deny it.
We're gonna brace it, right?
I will have to brace it to
Yeah.
like the ground probably.
Yeah.
Little pro tip driving these Tapcons, if they feel like they're not gonna go, it's usually a better idea to back them out, put them back them out, put them back, and sort of let it eat into the hole instead of just snapping them. These impacts do have enough power to just snap it off if it like totally binds up. Now that we have all these form boards installed, we're gonna set the laser and the reader at the exact height that we want. We'll make some marks, snap some chalk lines, cut this thing off. To make this easy, I put a screw in at the height that I want to cut this. We'll set the board that the reader is attached to on that and just raise the reader up until it reads level with the laser. And then we know we're right on it. We're gonna mark the bottom of that board. I've got the reader clamped and set. Now I'm just gonna stick it down the outside and let you mark the bottom of the board. Should be our mark. We'll do all 4 corners, basically. Right there, Jay.
Yeah.
Pull it tight. Pull it real tight. Panthers won?
Panthers won,
Andy Dalton came in, threw for over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Wow. We did something smart, we think, right here with this board.
Yeah, we just tacked it with 1 screw here and then 1 screw into the truss, because once we snap our line, to cut it with both walls there is going to be next to impossible. So we'll just take it off and cut it up on the top.
Now for the rest of this, we're just gonna do it in place. Gonna set up this saw and just rip the line. How might have been the longest single cut of my life. My back was like, it was at the perfect height to cramp your back too.
Yeah. How's your hand? Why don't you tell your viewers what you did there, champ?
Dude, I washed out in the parking lot after a massive bike ride and like twisted my thumb way further back than it's supposed to go, and now it doesn't work.
Bro, do I gotta teach you how to lie? You're supposed to be like, I hit this 30-foot double and went flying backflip, and when I landed, I jammed my thumb.
It was at the bottom, like just in a flat spot. It was stupid. I can't see anything because the dust. It's like it's just a total whiteout, like a blizzard.
Well, why don't you go the other way?
I might have to. I was just getting the wider part of the base plate on the board to keep it straight up and down, but I think I'm gonna have to switch it up. Yeah. I think I got some sawdust on my face. Oh man, at least it's just spruce. It tastes good. Tastes like a fresh pine forest.
Hey, you know, we don't have enough steel to do this slab, right?
Okay.
We don't even have half as much as we need on site, so that means I got to go to the store.
Okay.
And you guys can start tying this, but remember to stagger your splices. All right, so that we don't have any.
I remember that from the wall.
We don't have any lining up. Yeah, we learned that lesson pretty much the hard way. So, all right, I think you can get started.
We're gonna start laying this steel in on a 1 foot grid. So I'm gonna go and mark with a Sharpie, just 1 foot tick marks on this. We got somewhat of a reference, and some will hit on these. These are 16-inch on center, but not all of them, and that's okay. We've got our steel all laid in here, but we're like 16 pieces short, even though Jamie figured it and then went and got more steel. He didn't get enough, and it's just a lot of steel. It's a lot to look at with all these lines. It's hard to walk through, and it's hard to even tell what goes to what at this point, but we're just gonna start pulling pieces together, tying them square. This is going pretty good, but I will say that we severely underestimated the amount of steel and work that was gonna go into this. Like not even bringing our automatic wire tie gun, just using these, thinking, oh, it's just a little slab, tie the steel in. And now we're realizing this is a pretty big undertaking, and we don't have everything we should have brought. The other problem today is it's so hot that you can't really even think straight. I'm like completely drenched, like I jumped in a river up in that reflective metal stuff. Just getting baked from the top, baked from the bottom, and it's making things like way more hard.
And
You gonna say something?
He can't talk straight either.
bro, how do you come up 16 20-foot pieces short?
I don't
It's not like we were short 2. 16.
I don't know. Right now, I'm glad he did. Because I was melting.
Dude, like Ray said, the sun's getting us from every direction. It's bouncing off that metal and just burning us from the bottom up.
We're determined to get this done today, and Jamie's back with 20 more pieces of steel. So now we can finish this out. Ray's got our air conditioning set up here. And believe it or not, this is making like a huge difference on how hot it is. Thank you, Ray. So we're gonna get back to it here and see if we can get this thing gridded up.
Look up Butt Kisser in the dictionary. It's got a picture of Ray with his blower blowing on his balls right here. What in the world is going on?
I had this set up for him because I thought we were going this way, but no, he just randomly decides to start in the middle and just...
Dude, you know, he has no rhyme or reason to anything. He just grabbed some ties, grabbed a puller, and started going. You and I are going nice and, you know, even down the side.
Yeah. I need you up here, man, because we're gonna miss a lot if he keeps doing this.
You just have to go right behind him.
It's looking good.
This is a lot of steel.
A little bit of a trap to walk around here.
A little bit.
You know, something that we're gonna have to figure out. Some of it looks a little high.
Yeah.
Some looks a little low. The question is, how do we really make it go down here if it's high?
Tap dance, smash it down.
Maybe get the machine and just.
Yeah.
We might do that.
We don't want to crush anything under it.
Well, it's gonna be a trick. We'll just have to pull some strings across the form boards
And
just see how close
That's a
we
good
are.
idea.
Yeah. I think it just needs to be in the middle of the thickness. We've only got really 4 inches above this metal decking.
yeah, like that looks like it's about 5 inches above
It
the
looks
decking.
too close to the top.
And part of that is probably it's sitting on this bar that we bent. We can probably bop that with a sledge or something
Yeah.
and
Bop.
flatten it down a little more.
I can't tell if you're doing that for fun or if you're doing it to actually do something.
I'm trying to get this to go down, but it is sort of like a trampoline. It's like a trampoline of death, actually.
I think that one going that way is the problem.
That one?
Nope, right there, you're on it.
This one?
Yep.
Is that better?
Yeah. You're doing something.
I gotta give people props to do this a lot, like tying steel in a slab where you're bent down like that. It's like that same feeling in your lower back where you're laying the first couple courses of block all day.
But you know what's crazy? I think they make these guns that it's got like a little claw thing, and you just put it over the rebar and you hit a button, and it ties it automatically. Have y'all seen those?
What is it?
Those guns that you stick over the rebar and you pull the trigger and it ties it automatically.
I've seen those. A YouTuber had those.
Really?
Oh, you too?
Talking about like a building channel, they had some of those.
Really?
They're super fast.
When they did this wall, they had
Damn,
it.
we should get one of those.
Something builder cousins.
All the steel is in place now. I think it was around 80 bars of steel, around 80 pieces, 20 feet long each. We're gonna stiffen up the bracing on the formwork just a little bit and straighten out a few crooked spots. I can see one from right here where I'm standing. And then we actually have to make a notch out where the garage door is gonna go. The garage door is 16 feet wide, centered on that far side of the slab. We have to drop the edge of the form or insert like a piece of wood that's gonna make a drop section so water can't just run right in off the driveway into the garage.
We've got our formwork in place to make a void for the garage door to come down in 1.5 inches in the concrete. And now we've got this brace run out. That'll give us the ability to make this nice and level. So
That's basically it. It's pretty much
it's
good.
pretty much there. It was diving way off that way before we added this to it. So you're gonna screw it to that.
I think that's it.
And we'll put one in the middle and one at the end.
Are you supposed to do it that way?
Yeah, like bartender.
We're gonna wrap the day by starting to fill some of these voids down in here with some spray foam, just to see how much it's really gonna take. We bought a couple cans, and we'll see how far that goes to gauge how much more do we need to buy for tomorrow to finish. And we're gonna try not to squirt it down on the inside.
Probably need an inside guy, huh?
I think we just sort of pile it up a little bit right there and not really shoot it in the hole.
Yeah, and we don't want to go on any on that back edge till we get that beam put in.
Here's what we're using. Great stuff, pond and stone.
Yeah, it's like pool, pond, pool. Pond would probably be good for you, but it's black, this stuff.
That's Caddyshack, isn't it?
Yeah, there you go.
It really looks delicious, you know?
Chocolatey goodness.